No, he didn't smile. He smirked. I'd never been the recipient of a true smirk before, but this man clearly had perfected the look. He was tall. So tall I had to tilt my head back. He had to be at least 6'5". I was 5'10", so it was rare that men were tall enough that I felt short in comparison. But what arrested me most was how dark his eyes were. Oh, and the fact that he was jacked. Muscles for days, his chest covered in dark hair that matched the beard shadowing his cheeks and jaw. "Are you done, or can I take a piss now?" he said. I blushed to the roots of my hair. Being a redhead, my blushes tended to be bright and extremely obvious, and this man in front of me seemed very amused with my red cheeks. I wanted to ask him if he remembered what had happened last night, but it was as if the words had dried up in my throat. Or maybe it was because I had a large male glaring down at me because I wouldn't let him pee. "Be my guest," I said, ducking under his arm. I tried to look as prim as I could, but it was difficult when I looked like a total wreck and didn't even know this man's name. He shut the door with an ironic bow, giving me some time to collect my thoughts. Actually, I didn't need to collect my thoughts. I needed to run. But as I got dressed and began to toss things into my suitcase, I realized he was the one who needed to leave. This was my room. I stopped packing when memories started to surface, like images from a movie. I remembered stumbling down the Las Vegas Strip, and I could remember this man's voice beside me. Then the bachelorette party where the bride-to-be, Jenna, kept shoving tequila shots in front of me. Or had that happened before we'd stumbled down the Strip? Worst of all, I remembered the touch of a man, this man, who made heat lick through my veins. But he wasn't just any man. He had a name. I remembered that now, because we'd met the day prior to the bachelorette party. Liam. His name was Liam, but his last name eluded me at the moment. He'd sat next to me at the rehearsal dinner, and then at the hotel pool after that. Oh, God. Had I slept with him last night? Based on the hickeys, it certainly seemed plausible, but I couldn't remember, and that made my stomach curdle. I needed a bottle of water, ibuprofen, and some explanations. I scrambled around in my suitcase, only to find a gift bag from the bachelorette party the night before. Right as I pulled out a pink dildo that said, "Pleasure for your pink" on the base, Liam emerged from the bathroom. "I'm flattered, love, but pink isn't really my color," he said over my shoulder, "besides the fact that I'm always the one who does the penetrating," he added with a wry chuckle. I tried to stuff the dildo back into the bag, but I only proceeded to empty the rest of its contents, which included a handful of condoms, ribbed for her pleasure, so obviously there was a theme here, a butt plug with a diamond handle, and a bullet vibe that started buzzing way too enthusiastically for my pounding head. I could have cheerfully strangled Jenna for giving us these party favors last night. Whatever happened to a piece of jewelry or a gift certificate from Starbucks? Something benign, something that didn't involve things that went up your butt. Although anything could become a butt plug if you really tried, I reasoned. "Oh my God," I groaned. "This isn't happening. This isn't happening. This isn't happening." I turned to face Liam, only to see that he was naked. And no, the dildo was no match for him. Jesus Christ on a stick. How could a man look that good naked? He didn't have an ounce of fat on him. He was built like a linebacker. Although admittedly I didn't know exactly how any football player should look, I'd always been more into slender guys. Then again, my slender in all things ex-fiancé had cheated on me, so my taste in men was clearly suspect. Liam just waited for me to speak. He wasn't at all embarrassed by his nudity, and based on how perfectly built he was, he had no reason to be modest. To my utter shock, he was soon half hard. I watched in fascination as his cock grew before my very eyes. He had a delicious V that cut past his hips and pointed straight to his